When you hear about Drajeweled Ignis.
Woo! Yeah, baby!
After you tested Drajeweled Ignis.
How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes, got nowhere to run.
I thought they were done with the Grade 4s. I thought they wouldn't go back to Grade 4 due to the backlash and decided to keep an alternate Grade 3 for Drajeweled. But they did it. They give another Grade 4 into the list. And it was insane. And once you look at through the effects, it makes sense in terms of how it plays into Drajeweled mechanic, which is soul blasting different grade. But at the same time, throughout the testing period that I did before the recording of this video, I found a glaring issue that they intentionally left it there, which is a necessity for the support to be this insane. But at the same time, it is also the greatest bottleneck of this new version of Drajeweled. And today, I'm gonna be explain why the new support for Drajeweled is super insane and the bottleneck that keep the deck from being broken. So let's start off with this particular card first, cause I feel it is a necessity for you to know into different new support that Drajeweled did get. And that is Hot/Draco Kit. When this unit is placed on Vanguard circle, counterblast 1, look at top 7 card. You can choose one unit with Drajeweled in its name, put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. If you fail to do so, you may reveal a Grade 4. If you do, or you have a Grade 4 Drajeweled Vanguard, you may draw a card. And this second condition is more or less a common theme among the 3 support that did came in the DBT 13 for Drajeweled. And let's be real here. This is a very necessary to run card in Drajeweled purely due to the fact that it helps to guarantee to get a Grade 4 in your hand on top of Vapula.
Of course!
And not only that, but its secondary effect is really bad, and as you all know, Drajeweled is a counterblast heavy deck, so the fact that this doesn't refund the cost if you fail to do so kind of stings a little bit, but it kind of makes sense at the same time for them to not do that because of how ridiculous turn 4 for Drajeweled is now. Moving on to the second card, we have Demonic Lancer of Soul Extermination, Zagan. When this unit is placed on Vanguard circle during your main phase, you may soul charge 1, choose up to Grade 4 card from your hand and review it. If you review a card, or if you have a Grade 4 or greater card with Drajeweled in its name, choose up to one card with different card name from this unit and grade less than or equal to your Vanguard, you call it to Vanguard circle. At the end of that turn, put that unit back into your soul. And it also has ability that it can boost if your Vanguard is Drajeweled. This, in my opinion, is the reason why that condition has to be there, because this is essentially the most free core skill I have seen in Darkseid up to date. It is really that good, and the fact that you can call any card back from soul, especially with the new support, it's allow you to essentially build up your Drajeweled board without too much resource from your hand, which is a great thing. And not only that, it's work as a booster as well, which help you to break to the magic number extremely well, especially with the effects of the new Drajeweled. Then we have last but not least, Wise Demonic Lordling Vapula. This unit has one ability. When you soul blast 4 or more cards at the same time for the cost of your Vanguard ability, you put this unit into your soul, draw a card. You then choose up to one Grade 4 card from your hand and review it. If you review a card or you have a Grade 4 Drajeweled on your Vanguard circle, choose one of your Vanguard, and if your Vanguard did not stand by a card's ability this turn, stand it. This is a very good card because this essentially replicate the Empusa effects. And for some people, they might think, oh, Empusa is still a necessity part of the deck, and to them, I kind of agree. This is due to the fact that Empusa advantage ability cannot be replicated by this card. But the fact that this card still guarantee a soul and a draw is good in itself, and this is gonna be very controversial. I feel this card makes Empusa irrelevant to a certain extent.
I don't like where this is going.
And personally for me, I don't really mind that because this card is almost as good as a magazine promo, which is extremely hard to come by, making it slightly less painful to build Drajeweled if you do not have Empusa right now, because it goes for ridiculous price at the moment. Then we have the Man of the Hour, or the Dragon if you will, True Demonic Drajeweled True Dragon. That doesn't make a lot of sense. True Demonic Drajeweled Dragon, Drajeweled Ignis. It has 3 abilities, one of which is a constant restriction, where it has to be written upon Drajeweled unit only. Then auto on Mega Circle. At the beginning of your battle phase, choose 2 cards from your drop zone and put them into your soul. Then if you have 4 or more cards with different grade in your soul, your front row get 15k until the end of turn. Do know that it is auto, so you can't get rid of your Vanguard then call back to get additional power again. Then auto Vanguard, when this ability cost would be paid, a card with Drajeweled in its name in your soul may be Soul Blast as any grade from 0 to 4. When this unit attacks Soul Blast 5 with different grades, retire all of your opponent back row record, and until the end of turn, this unit get 1 crit and increase or decrease the power of all your opponent front row unit to 0. This is huge because yes, it does force you to pay more cost, but the payoff is huge because of the fact that not only you still retain that critical, you also retire your entire opponent back row, which is better in certain cases, especially certain resist unit does have ability to not be able to target, but because this is non-target ability, it works. And of course, the ability to rechange your entire front row into 0 does a few things for the deck. For one, there are no weird magic number attack anymore. Yes, you still have some weird number with essentially the grade 3s, but overall it essentially makes your Vanguard attack a lot more threatening because of the fact that most of the attack that you'll be using with your Vanguard are usually grade 2s. And secondly, the fact that you rechange your opponent front row Vanguard's power to 0 means that if you fail to finish off the opponent that turn, you can technically use your additional attack to get rid of any front row Vanguard that will bring you a lot of trouble later on in the game. And it's gonna be very painful for opponent to do so as well because of the fact that the power of that unit is also 0. And yes, it does Soul Blast 5 with different grade, but the fact that you get ability to plus 2 card from Drop Soul into Soul for free is actually huge because you don't need to do anything. Though the fact that it starts in your battle phase can be a little bit awkward in certain setup, especially with Sargon, as sometimes you might want this effect to go off first. But regardless, it is a very powerful ability nonetheless, especially this deck lose Personal Right in doing so. So what does this mean for Drajeweled in general? Well, it is a deck that's capable of hitting 40 to 50k easily while your opponent power is at 0, which is actually really threatening and scary, and what Drajeweled could have been to begin with, especially if you're considering cards like Servant Fulcratia, which is the promo that allow you to recycle Ignis back into Soul, making this card swinging for 30k without any help from any other part of the field. But together with the Ignis, this thing hits like a truck even before the power reduction skill. But even with all these cards come all together, there is a few bottlenecks that we have to consider, and there are generally 2 of them. The first one is mechanically, this deck has to be on turn 4, so you have to write into Drajeweled Ignis. If you fail to do so, or you are unable to get Ignis during any part of the game, you lose a lot of advantage and rush. Not only that, this deck is also extremely expensive right now, even after the fact that there is a card that can substitute Empusa to an extent, and that is thanks to Servant Fulcratia. As I feel without Fulcratia, the deck does lose a lot of late game aggression thanks to Fulcratia ridiculous power gaining skill, and also the card can gain back so very consistently while hitting like a truck is also quite a huge deal for the deck. Though there are technically a few alternatives you can run, namely Sargon and Volcate, but I feel Fulcratia just fulfill way too many roles for this deck at the moment. So unfortunately, Drajeweled still retain as one of the most expensive deck that doesn't really perform as well as some of the other decks. And speaking of competitiveness, is Drajeweled good in competitively? This is based on my personal opinion. It is getting better. I don't think it is meta competitive net purely because of the fact that most decks exist at the moment, and there are a lot of decks that are capable of burst extremely hard on turn 3 right now. In fact, 3 of the strongest deck right now, Bastion, Vidhelvasti, and Garniva, can burst extremely well into turn 3 and scale well into turn 4 thanks to their ridiculous hand size due to additional drive from Bastion, additional draw from Vidhelvasti, and additional draw from Garniva via base harvest. So what do you guys think of Drajeweled new support? Is the deck gonna terrorize the meta? Leave down in the comments below. And yeah, that's all I have for today guys. Take care of yourself, and this is McMegane signing out.